So today's video is all about how to change these valves. This is a valve that went on me for the outside spigot, and this is a special one designed so the water won't leak. So it is a, take a look at it here. So it's for non-freeze hose. So that's what this is designed for. And I actually was gonna try to rebuild it, and can't get the parts for this anymore. So we're gonna take this whole piece out, and we're gonna try to replace this piece here. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna take it all apart. So like I said, I took out the whole kit here, and the whole thing was all falling apart. And it's just easier just to replace these than to rebuild them. Sometimes they don't always work. So we're gonna take this out and give it a shot. All right, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's see what we have and see how difficult this is to change. You know, if I had a second guess, I think it looks like they actually soldered this pipe into this piece here. So this should have been threaded, but at a closer inspection, it looks like this was soldered into the joint, which makes it harder to change. So I'm gonna probably end up just cutting this out, because yeah, it looks like this usually is threaded into a bigger piece, but someone just basically just soldered it in, and that's what they did. All right, so I'm gonna get a pipe cutter, cut this piece off, take this out, and we'll take a look at it and see what we have and try to fix it. All right, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do appreciate it as always, and let's see how this works out. So what I decided to do is pull out my old butane torch here. Before I cut it, I wanted to see if I can maybe just get it hot enough to get that joint loose to just extract it out of that pipe. It would give me some more room in that little pipe that's not too long at all, so not a lot to work with there. So I kept on heating it up. The problem is I don't have MAP gas or a professional torch like a professional plumber would have, and I am not a plumber professional. So if you're not familiar, if you're not comfortable with using torches, please don't do this. Hire a plumber if you're not sure how to do this. I do have some experience, and there is plenty of room here, so the wood will not catch on fire. You're going to be very, very careful. So I ran this torch for quite a while, and there's too much water in it, and the idea is to evaporate the water to really get it hot to melt the solder, and I just couldn't get it hot enough. So I just tried and tried, but couldn't get it to work. So unfortunately, I had to cut the pipe, and that was the next best thing to do. And then let's continue with this job. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying the video. I do appreciate that, and leave any comments down below if you have any experience in what works for you. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so unfortunately the torch did not work, so I had to go ahead and use the pipe cutter, and just the smallest one they sell. It's very inexpensive at the home improvement store, so pick up yourself one. You could always have it. You always need it. If you never know, if you own a house or a condo, you just never know when you need that pipe cutter. So I tried to get it as close to the joint as possible, because I wanted to leave as much room as possible to work with. Hopefully I don't have to cut this all apart and start over again. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so to use this, you basically just turn it, and you just keep twisting it like this here, and then you just keep tightening it at a quarter turn, and then you just keep twisting it. So they're really easy to use. Don't be intimidated. You can do this yourself. It's really, really simple to do. Practice at home, practice with some pipes, but really, honestly, super simple to cut pipe. And you just keep twisting it, and you're gonna notice it gets looser and looser. You just keep tightening it down, and cut this pipe pretty easy, and these last forever. I think they're like $5 or $10. I'll leave a link down below for everything that I'm using in this project. So if you have this issue, or if you want to do any kind of repair work, I'll leave some links so you will know to get that. I have an Amazon affiliate link, as you know, and I do appreciate it if you do use that link for me. It does help me out. And if you don't, no big deal, but just wanted to let you know I do have those available to make it easy for you to shop. So again, keep tightening this down and just keep rotating this, and you're going to see in a minute it's going to pop open and water's going to come out. So the problem was I couldn't get the water to evaporate to get the joint hot enough, and that's really what you have to do. Again, I'm not a licensed plumber whatsoever. I'm not saying I am. I'm just a homeowner trying to teach other homeowners to do things so they can save some money. So that's it. So the pipe broke off, and gonna pull it out. It looks like there is some room left on the other pipe, so hopefully I'll just pull this out of the wall, and let's just take a look outside with it and see what we have. So there was 2 screws here holding this in. I took those screws out, and this will just come right out here. As you can see, this just comes right out. So there is our, looks to be a 6 or an 8 inch. I'll measure it, and we'll try to replace it with something similar, and try to figure out a new connection point for this frost-free pipe. So what happens with these frost-free pipes, they're pretty interesting. What happens is that the seat goes in here around 6 inches or so, That way it has a frost freeze. That way it has a protection with the water won't freeze. So this basically self-drains. That's why you have this valve here to let air in, and seals it down here roughly. So that way you have this protection here, so you will not freeze these frost freeze. They call them hydrants. That's what they call these. All right, guys. So I'll get back to you as soon as I get to the hardware store and figure out a solution. We'll come back and we'll finish the project. Again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying my videos and my content. Okay, so I came back from the home improvement center and I picked up a new one of these. This is the frost-free valve and I just watched the entire video. You can see remove this part here. This was all damaged inside here. These all just fall apart and they fail. This is about probably 30 years old, and usually they're threaded in, but this was soldered in. So I ended up cutting the solder as you saw in the video. So I went to the home improvement store and they said, don't buy one of these again. Buy one of these. Again, sharkbite. Okay, I've used these in the past. But basically what this is, it's the exact same length as this one here. This is crazy, right? Look at this. This valve, this will just push right in. Hopefully it'll fit. You saw this, it was a little bit snubby left on it. And this basically, if this fits, this job is done. No soldering, and this won't leak. And it does have a shut off in the house too, so I'm not overly worried. If something happens, I shut it right off again. We'll fix it. We'll take care of it. So this is just basically, it's a push fitting. I know a lot of people don't like these items. Please don't hate. I'm just doing what I thought was easier for me. So if you're a plumber and you hate these, please don't send some hate below in my description box. I'm just a consumer and a how-to person, and I just wanted to just bring this to your attention. So if you'd be placing one of these, definitely this is a one way to go. Not saying it's the only way to go, one way to go. And what I also purchased was some extra pieces. So I have an elbow if I need it, and a couple of straight connectors in case I have to cut the pipe and just reconnect everything and kind of re-plumb it basically. So I bought all these sharkbite connectors. I'll leave some links down below if you're interested in doing this. I think this is really an easier way to handle it, honestly, and I've done this before and I've had them for years and they never leaked. And I also bought some extra pipe, so it's always good to have an extra copper pipe. You need that so in case you have to run a runner on it or make some adjustments. So I figured I bought everything that I need here, and that way I don't have to run back and forth. I'll just return what I don't use, or if I use it all, I keep it all. It doesn't really matter. And these run for about 35 bucks or so, maybe 40 bucks for a brand new one of these. But if this fits, this is a game changer. This is so easy to do. You don't have to worry about threading it. You don't have to worry about soldering it. You don't have to do anything. You just push and go and you're done. So let's take a look at this and see how it goes. Okay, so we're back outside. So first thing we want to do is just want to do a dry fit and just see how much room you need and how much space you need. So I'm just going to push this in and we're going to put it in here. I'm going to use the same screws later, just to mount them on here so you can see here. So this is done, it'll be just like that. It'll be nice and clean. So hopefully if this fits correctly, we should be fine. Let's go take a look inside and see how much space and see what we have to do. Let's see. So I want to just try to push this in and we'll see what happens. I might make an adjustment or two, and because once you push them in, they're a bitch to get out. So that's the only other issue, but let's just see. I might just put a new pipe in, cut this piece here off. I got the elbow, like I said. I might just cut it here, up here, add another elbow, and then just basically thread a new piece on. That might be one way of doing it. So let's see. Okay, let's just give it a shot and see what happens. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is that because I have some extra room here, this pipe can move back and forth. That's why I can get some movement back and forth through this pipe. So I'm gonna take this bracket out here, move this bracket out of the way, and it's just nailed in. So that's easy enough to break loose. Let's see. As you can see, I did move this out of the way and it'd give me a little bit more basically run room with this. So I'm going to be able to push this back. And I'm going to add a connector here. Hopefully a connector to here, and hopefully that will work. Let's see how it works. I'm going to put a shot. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this to just, this might just work. Let's just see if I can push this in enough. If this works, that'll be perfect. Let's see. So before I push this on, I just want to clean off this here. This is my suggestion, just to clean off these here, because once those teeth bite, they're pretty good. So hopefully, let's take a look here. It should be enough to grab it. Let's see where it's hitting the teeth. Right around there. All right, let me just gotta clean this up. I think this might just work just like this. Give me a little extra room to move around with to take off the bracket, and hopefully this just works. Let's just take a look at it. To use for that, so just put it on here like this. take a little wire brush inside, and this cleans it out. Even if you're doing soldering, you have to do this too, but I always found this makes a better connection. And you can see it takes all the rust off here, and it's a clean connection now. So that takes care of that. All right, let's see what happens. Cross my fingers. Hopefully there's enough room to go in here. Let's give it a shot. So hard to see, so I got the camera out of the way. I was able to get in there and I was able to really push this all the way on as far as I can go. So I think this did its job. We'll see. I think it's going to be good. So I can probably return all the other pieces, just basically slapped into here. If this doesn't leak, we're in good shape. Let's test it. Okay, so I'm outside here, so I'm just going to hook up the screws, put the screws back. And there's a little, they give you a little white washer in here. So this spacer actually helps create a little, so the valve kind of tips down a little bit so the water drains. But honestly, I'm not sure if you really need it, because I do shut the water off inside for the winter, but it is an extra safety precaution. Let's just put these screws back in here. I'm gonna give it another tap inside the snugget, and let's see what happens. Okay, so that is in there, secure and snug. You can see here. And let's shut the water on and see if there's no leaks inside. That's the true test. Okay, the water is on. And no leaks, as always. Sharkbite always works beautiful. I'm going to remount this bracket here to hold the pipe here. Take the pressure off, and this is done. And as you can see here, I reattached the strap. And what that does, it takes the pressure off the joint and keeps everything back in line where it should be for the water flow as far as keeping it correct. And that is done. Okay guys, moment of truth. Here you go. Beautiful. Perfect. Works great. You see no leaks inside. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hope I helped you learn how to change your valve. They call these a hydrant outside. Do appreciate it as always. Frost-free valve, really easy to do. Do it yourself. Don't be afraid. And I'll see you at the next review.